Moving on to the next presentation, may I please invite Mr. Prabhakar Jayakumar to make his presentation on Amazon, the marketplace, start selling online. Mr. Prabhakar Jayakumar.
Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Prabhakar. I work with business development team on Amazon. And for the next 15-20 minutes, I'm going to quickly walk you through what does Amazon do in India. Most of you would have heard about Amazon as a retailer. That's the format in which we operate in about 10 countries. So I'll specifically speak about what we've been doing in India. And I'll open up for questions for the last 10 minutes so that, for the retailers that are out here, trying to understand how can you work with us as a marketplace. I'll be happy to answer those questions for you. Just a couple of quick hygiene things. Ajit Shetty from my team here would hand out a few forms, more like it asks for basic information. While I'm kind of presenting this, if you kind of also fill in those forms, that'd be helpful. So I presume most of you would have heard of Amazon. So the understanding that everybody has about Amazon is as a retailer, where Amazon buys products, stocks in its warehouse, and sells to consumers. What most people do not know is that it's also a marketplace, even in the US. In fact, just to kind of give a quick stat, 45% of all units that we ship worldwide are from our marketplace sellers, from our third-party sellers. What does that mean? For those of you who do not understand marketplaces completely, for the benefit of them, marketplace is essentially where you have a platform to list your products and then reach out to a larger customer base. Now in India, marketplaces are, there have been more than one marketplaces that have started over the last 1 year. In India, we launched as a pure play marketplace. We do not operate in a retailer model, which essentially means that today Amazon does not buy and sell to consumers as Amazon the retailer. We are a pure play marketplace, which essentially means we are enabling the platform for retailers like you to reach out to a larger customer base. Just a couple of quick pointers about Amazon's vision globally. We aim to be the world's most customer-centric company. What does that mean? It means a couple of things for the end customer. We want to be a single-stop destination for customers to find anything that they want to buy online. A complete selection of SKUs, a complete assortment of products. And what do customers want? Not just a width of products, but these products at great prices. And the ability to have these products delivered to their doorstep in expedited shipping options, right? So all of these are things that we kind of focus on globally. And as we scale our business in India, we want to kind of emulate and replicate the same business models that we have elsewhere. So we represent Amazon Seller Services. So as I mentioned, Amazon provides a suite of services to retailers to reach to consumers. Now what you see here are the set of services that Amazon has in this endeavor. The first three are the ones that we've launched in India. I'll kind of walk you through those in greater detail in subsequent slides. Checkout by Amazon is Amazon's payment gateway. So there are close to about 220 million active customers worldwide who kind of shop from Amazon. Now, if you want to kind of get access to this customer base of Amazon, if they were to use Amazon's credentials and do easy checkout on your web portals, if you have, Checkout by Amazon is a solution for you. Finally, Amazon Web Store. Web Store is where it's like an off-the-shelf package. You create an e-commerce portal for yourself, you use this package, drag, drop, create an e-commerce portal. Why does Web Store benefit vis-a-vis some of the other portals that are out there? Is because based on our understanding of this space, things like search engine optimization and all of these are built into this product. So starting day one, your site is kind of optimized to kind of generate better traffic, and attractive customers. So specifically to India, we started off in India in February 2012 as in the format of Junglee. Now, Junglee is a product reference site. For those of you who have an e-commerce portal of your own, what Junglee does is kind of lists your products. There are no charges either for listing or for the traffic that we send your way. You list your products on Junglee, customers look up a product and they know that site ABC or XYZ is where you can find this product from. They click on a link that says visit seller site, they get redirected to your portal. So essentially what Junglee, the unique value proposition that Junglee is offering you is free traffic, and it's basically trying to solve the problem of customer acquisition for most retailers today. Next is, there's a quick, a variant to Junglee that we've introduced over the last couple of months. When we launched and our product essentially catered only to online portals. those who had an e-tailing website, fully functional e-tailing website. But of late, Junglee's also started listing what we call as business ads, which essentially means that if you have a local store and you could list your products and your information about your store on Junglee. Now, if I were a customer and I'm looking for a certain product, let's take the mobile phone as an example again. Not only am I getting to see a list of online stores where I can go buy this product, but I also see the closest stores. For example, if I'm logging in from Bangalore, I see the closest stores for my area, for my pin code, where I can go buy these products offline. So Junglee, our vision for that is to be a product discovery platform, an aggregator, both online and offline. Customers can use this platform to discover where to buy. Next is Amazon. As I mentioned, in India, it's a pure play marketplace. We launched about 8 months back in June. We started off with books and media categories, essentially movies. Then we launched electronics. Then we launched lifestyle categories like watches and fashion jewelry. Just as 2 weeks back, we also launched luggage, video games, and music. Now, our aim for Amazon is to kind of launch pretty much all the categories that you see on .com, right from apparel to footwear to home improvement. All of those categories that are yet to be launched on Amazon, with time you will find them launched in India as well. Not only does Amazon provide a platform to list your products, but Amazon takes care of the entire heavy lifting for you as a retailer. What does that mean? Now, the only thing that you would have to do is kind of decide what are the products that you want to put up on this channel and what do you want to price it at. Pretty much from there on, in terms of driving the traffic to your website through multiple marketing channels, Amazon is doing this upfront investment in terms of the traffic channels and driving traffic into Amazon that obviously translates and correlates to sellers who are listed with us. So we're kind of addressing the customer acquisition problem for you, which you would have heard of over the multiple sessions over the last 2 days. Next is the entire logistics piece. If you stock your products with us at our warehouse, so at this point we have 2 warehouses in India, one in Bombay, in a place called Bhiwandi, the other one in Bangalore. Amazon does fulfillment for you. What does that mean? I'll kind of quickly walk you through this picture, which kind of explains the entire life cycle of what fulfillment by Amazon is. You as a seller would stock your products at our warehouse. That's step number 1. Now, if I as a customer log on to Amazon.in, I get to see a product, the complete set of products, and you would see against certain products a logo that reads Amazon Fulfilled, which essentially means that for this product, Amazon is responsible for not only the forward delivery, but in case you have a problem and returns need to be handled, Amazon does that for you. And you would have heard cash on delivery is the most predominant form of payment method that most customers feel comfortable with. Close to 50-60% of all transactions that happen in India happen through COD. And over the last few months that we've been operated in, we see that COD is a very important instrument for payment transactions. And FBA gives you access to that. If you're a seller and you're just listing your products, the only customers that you get access to, if you don't use FBA, is prepaid customers who pay through credit card, net banking. But FBA gives you access to this larger base that feels comfortable dealing with cash. So Amazon stores your products at our warehouse. Customers place the order. We pick, pack, and ship it to the end customer. So just to kind of summarize the key benefits of fulfillment, so to say, we're doing the forward delivery for you. We are handling return logistics. We are handling customer service for you as well, for the orders that are fulfilled by us, as well as the entire returns process. I think you've kind of heard this, over the last few sessions in terms of what are the typical challenges that plague most offline retailers. The first problem is the problem of reach. By virtue of having just a physical store, there are only as many customers that you can reach out to. Now, expansion has its own kind of disadvantages in terms of the capex involvement. In terms of that, you cannot expand beyond your city, and if you want, you would have to kind of obviously spend a lot. Now, what the online channel presents to you is obviously reach on a pan-India basis, and the costs are multifold less. Now, with Amazon's platform, there are no listing fees as well, which essentially means that if you are someone who's trying to foray into the online space and see if this channel is relevant to you at all or not, you can start just listing your products. And this is a pay-per-sale kind of model. So you would pay us a commission only when you make a sale. So it doesn't hurt to kind of try the platform and see if this platform works for you or not. Second is the entire, even if you were to have a store, the assortment that you can show is limited by the shelf space that you have. By virtue of being an online platform, it's an endless opportunity. You can pretty much list every product that you want. And where Amazon also helps you is that you don't have to create catalog for most of this. Now, Amazon derives from our global catalog. Let's say for a lot of electronic products, a lot for our media products like books, music, movies, we already have the catalog created with us. Now, if you're a seller who has these exact same products, then all that you're supposed to do is kind of say on our systems, I want to list against this product, and we're saying how many units of that you have for sale, and what is the price that you want to sell it at. You don't have to give us images, catalog, none of that. But if you were to carry products that are unique to you, let's say apparel as an example. Now, for the most part, given that it's your brand, your product, we would not have a catalog for that. You would need to kind of give us that. But in case you do not have ability to create that in-house, we can help you with that as well. We have in-house teams that will help you do that, as well as we can put you in touch with external teams that can do that for you at a very nominal cost. I think inventory management and payment options are things that others have spoken about. What we're trying to essentially say is that for these multiple challenges that typically plague an offline retailer, one, online is a good medium that kind of alleviates some of these pains, and Amazon as an online channel is a trusted platform for users worldwide. Since the last 8 months that we've been in India, we've kind of grown leaps and bounds, and if you look at things like ComScore numbers that we track, the kind of month-on-month that we've shown, growth that we've shown is phenomenal. What I wanted to call out from this slide is that a lot of offline retailers, so for example, JJ Mehta, a camera seller based out of Bombay that most of you would have, are aware of. Now, these are retailers who typically are from an offline bent of mind. Now, what they're trying to do is transition into the online space by creating a web store for themselves. Other names being, Nali Silks, Mom and Me. Now, these are people who, one, set an online store, and now they're also trying to, now that they've kind of done the upfront investment of creating an online store for themselves, listing on other marketplaces helps them because they're getting additional traffic for the same investment that they've done, right? So, sellers like Shopperstop, Chroma, Vijay Sales, Universal, they all work with the Amazon marketplace irrespective of their own e-commerce store, because one, Amazon is able to kind of pump in that additional customer base to them for the same set of product for which they've invested in terms of, like, say, creating catalog and creating merchandising effort. I kind of have covered most of what's on this slide, which is basically saying for retailers, Amazon is kind of one, giving an additional sales channel, and a sales channel that has predisposed customers. What does that mean? Worldwide, there's a stat that shows that people directly come to Amazon. They do not go to search sites if they essentially want to buy products, because they have the understanding that anything that they want to buy pretty much is available there. Now, that's the aim that we have for Amazon in India as well. So what that translates into is, you get access to a customer base that's already pre-decided about buying a product, or at least wants to look up certain information about a product that he may buy in the near future. So if you were to do your own marketing efforts in an offline medium, there are multiple channels that you would want to activate. Now, not all of those, the typical conversion rates that you may see may be far lesser than what you would see on an online medium, and especially in an online medium that kind of gives you a predisposed customer base. Amazon also has introduced what's called as expedited shipping options. We have what's called as fast track shipping. Now, if you place an order, for example, by 2 p.m. today, Amazon on the product detail page gives you a promise that says this product will reach you by 3 p.m. tomorrow in certain pin codes. What that kind of gives the customer is the fact that, one, he's kind of transitioning himself from buying from an offline experience into the online world. He has that comfort that I have bought a product, my payment is secure because Amazon provides what's called as an A2B guarantee. In case anything goes wrong with that transaction, Amazon kind of stands guarantor and then kind of makes good even if there is a problem that the customer has, and likewise for the seller. Now, this kind of builds the trust, especially for somebody who's never transacted online, and likewise for a seller who's never sold online. So, for those who use FBA, I've already called out that we also provide customer service and returns. And for those who've engaged with courier companies, you would know that companies charge pretty much as much as they would for return as they would for the forward delivery. Now, with Amazon, we have what's called as a promotional rate for the first 1 year. Because we're new in India, we want sellers to understand the utility of working with us. for most of the categories that we deal in, we have a promotional first year rate and a standard second year rate. Now, just to kind of give you an example, for fulfillment, for a pan-India shipment, for anything that's less than 500 grams, we will charge you 20 rupees plus 1% of the product cost. For those of you, again, as I mentioned, who have worked with courier companies, would know that just to enable something like COD, you would have to shell out about 35 to 40 rupees, and not to mention the return cost as well as the forward costs. So these rates are attractive just to ensure that sellers, for one, get an understanding of our service and see the benefit that they can get from our sales channel. What I'll now do is open it up for questions. Any questions that you may have about how you can use Amazon as a sales channel? Yes.
I have a question. Sure. Anyway, Amazon is normally at for perishable items. Hi, myself Dipen. Amazon is having any plan for any selling of perishable items, like say it's a mango, say mangoes or pomegranate, only limited to some selected area and only for a given period. Is Amazon planning for it?
Okay. So at this point, we do not have food and grocery as a category that's enabled. But as I mentioned, we have that in the US, and with time we have that in India as well. The second part to your question was, is there ability to ship to only certain regions, what we call internally as ship by region. So today, the understanding is that if a seller lists a product, it should be available for shipment pan-India. We do not have the ability today from a system perspective to kind of restrict the geography to which you will be able to service.
So that will be useful for
I
perishable
understand.
items.
Correct. So that is something that we're working on. At this point, we do not have that feature, but with time we'll have that as well. Okay, so I'll kind of quickly walk you through the FBA rates as well. This slide is a little complex, so just to kind of simplify this for you, if you're selling a product that's less than 500 grams, what this slide is essentially trying to communicate is that you're going to pay us 20 rupees plus 1% of the product shipment cost. Let's assume that it's a 1,000 rupee product, so 10 rupees is what 1% translates into. So 30 rupees plus service tax is what we would charge you from a fulfillment perspective, pan-India, inclusive of customer service as well as return cost. That's right. The COD is inclusive of the fulfillment. It's inclusive of that. We don't have additional charges for COD.
Sir, and another thing, that what is the marketing fee? This is the what you are telling, it is a delivery. But what is your marketing and other charges?
Sure.
That is one point. And the second point is that there are many categories in which you have not gone forward.
Right.
I think it's for gold coins or that jewelry or something. So when can we expect that you open it?
Sure. So to your first point, what we call, that's not really a marketing expense, what we call as a referral commission. So the table to your right essentially shows what are the commissions that we charge by category for the first year as well as the second year. For a category, and that essentially is not a marketing expense. Now that's the cost of using Amazon as a platform and cost of using Amazon as a platform to get that customer to buy from you. For books, for the first year, books, music, movies, 5% is what we charge as referral commission. And if you look at video games or watches, it's 8%. So that's the range that we have for our product categories. To your second point, in terms of fine jewelry, essentially gold coins and all of that, they will all be launched with time. It's just that today we do not have it, but all of those we have plans for launching them pretty soon.
When can we see pricing?
Okay, so we don't have, so we, as I mentioned, we've started next day shipping, but I don't know if we have plans to launch Prime itself anytime soon, but we will have expedited shipping options, expand the pin codes that we service to a larger set of pin codes.
I do have a question. My name is Puneet. How do you look at this conflict of interest? Because you also are fulfilling the same good from your own warehouse. You're able to offer an amazing deal. If it's a principal who owns the product, and suppose a brand, then it's easy because they cannot buy the same product from any other source. But if it's somebody who's putting it together, retailing other brands, of course you can do it cheaper anywhere else. So how do you look at this within your business? What's your first priority? Is it marketplace or is it a direct selling from your own stocks too?
So if I understand the question right, today we do not operate in retail format, and we are purely marketplace. So is your question that if retail were to be started and if Amazon were to do retail, which would be a higher priority? So let me go back to the stat that I quoted earlier. Globally, marketplace is a very important business for us. for a couple of reasons. One, using our existing infrastructure, not only are we kind of servicing our own products, we're using this infrastructure to kind of work with other retailers as well. And the stat, 45% of all the units that we ship worldwide happen to be third-party sellers. So that's as big a business and a focus marketplace is for Amazon internally.
Thank you.
A lot of your competition tags you as, there's a conflict of interest. So how do you tackle that?
So conflict of interest from what perspective again? Retail versus marketplace?
Marketplace versus cataloger?
You mean to say that he's building a catalog? No, I didn't completely understand the question.
I'll try and explain. For example, I create a bestseller on Amazon, and I'm already invested in inventory at my end.
Sure.
The next morning I wake up and I see Amazon selling the same product in half the price.
Okay.
It's happened to us.
Sure.
We had close to $500,000 worth of inventory stuck. I can tell you the product offline. I also remember the part number.
Okay.
And next morning we wake up and it's like $200.
Okay. So there are two parts to it, right? So one is if you're the brand owner and it's your product.
That's the retail.
You're just a retailer.
I procure it from manufacturer or supplier.
Sure. So today that scenario does not exist in India for the simple reason.
Once API multi-brand is opened up and Amazon becomes a cataloger in India, can the same case not happen?
So that's kind of difficult to answer because that would depend a lot on whether Amazon is operating in that specific category that you're talking about. So let me take both the cases, right? If Amazon is indeed operating in that category where you as a retailer are selling a certain product and Amazon is also procuring and selling, Amazon globally has certain ways of doing business. Now what that essentially translates into is we have a very transparent way by which you get the add to cart button on the product retail page. And that's parameters like what's the price that product is being sold at, what are the seller ratings that seller has got over the period of time. Now the seller ratings is again a function of how has the seller delivered on his promise, right? So if he said 3 days shipping has over a period of time, the kind of seller, has he kind of kept up to the promise. That's what kind of translates into the seller ratings. The add to cart button, as I mentioned, is a function of the seller ratings, the price at which the product is sold at, and the delivery timelines that the seller has for that product.
But of course the weight is different, right? For example, if there's a vendor that's doing an FBA, the weight that decides who wins the buy box is different, right?
Okay.
On those ASIN IDs where Amazon themselves are selling the same product, I've been working with Amazon. I love you guys, don't get me wrong.
Sure.
We've grown from $800 worth of business to close to $40 million worth of business just because of you guys. Don't get me wrong. It's just a concern. So most of the products that you are yourself selling, right? And the price may be mapped. So there's a level playing field.
Sure.
Right? 99% of the cases it's Amazon who always wins the buy box.
So so a couple of places where sellers globally have found still a use case in that exact scenario, right? Now Amazon has a limit on what it would typically can buy, and then there will obviously be stock out situations.
Yeah, the top 100.
Right, there's obviously a stock out situation that could happen, but also what happens is fulfillment by Amazon. A lot of sellers who opt for fulfillment stand a very good chance to get that sale where there are multiple sellers. Again, going back to the fact, because if Amazon is doing the fulfillment, a lot of those parameters that define gets that add to cart will be taken care of, right? From delivery timelines to customer service. So customer has more reasons to kind of give good feedback, have a good experience with that sale, which kind of essentially bumps you up the ladder.
I'll take it offline.
Sure. Any other questions? Sure. So if you need more information about the services that we have in India, website called services.amazon.in that kind of gives you more details about what we just spoke. And you can log in a request there, and somebody from our team will reach out to you and answer those questions for you. Thanks everyone. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much for a very